There are over 2 billion people living with disabilities across the world. And the bulk of that number comes from developing countries like Nigeria. In 2013, Nigeria's National Assembly estimated that about 20 million of the nation's population are living with disabilities. And that number has grown exponentially with accidents, insurgency, and diseases like polio. According to the United Nations, 1 in every 10 Nigerians is living with disabilities. And out of 10 people living with disabilities, 9 live below the poverty line. You always kind of want someone there because you can get stuck. Irene is a polio survivor, working from home due to the lockdown following the spread of COVID-19 in Nigeria. She outlines some of the challenges the pandemic poses to people like her.
What about the isolation centers? If I need to get isolated, I need to be at an isolation center. What do the facilities look like? Are they wheelchair accessible? Not just for the entrance, but even things as basic as a toilet.
As of today, there's a plan to provide stimulus packages for people living with disabilities to alleviate their suffering during the pandemic. But unfortunately, they were not involved in the decision-making process. So how can the stimulus packages get to them?
We've written to them more than 4 letters. I have not gotten any reply. I'd expected by now that the minister would have held a stakeholders meeting. Even with this crisis, that's the kind of thing that should have happened.
The Kuchingoro camp in Abuja. Many of the families here, fleeing from Boko Haram, have been here since 2014. The women stay home to care for the children, as many of the men have gone out to look for food. They fear that we may have brought the coronavirus into the camp, and this woman, known as Mama Patience, refuses to use our microphone, even after sanitizing her hands.
If one person among come to die children, all they will be affected, and they will come to our houses again. We, the parents, will be affected. All of us, we are going to be swept out. Nobody will remain.
For many people who live in IDP camps like this one across the nation's capital and across the country, it's a double tragedy for them. They just ran away from the effects of Boko Haram, and now they're in the dangers of being killed by a disease that is sweeping across the globe. The call is for the government to do what they can to protect vulnerable members of society. That way they can still be alive in their country. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.